All right. First and foremost, I'm gonna say all praises be to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah, Kodash. And then I'm gonna say double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the sincere elect, teaching the truth in faith and sincerity. Quick point I want to speak on is actually based here on this video that a couple of my brothers have already shared. And a point like I want to focus on is when this lady is talking about food cans and stuff that she's got, and even goes as far to mention the mark of the beast, which of course like in the times that we're in, but buying a few extra cans here and there is something that benefits you, what I mean. But ultimately speaking, we're the hopeful elect are waiting on miracles to take place. And really and truly, in this time of evil to come, when that Motb comes to pass, if the spirit of the Lord isn't upon you and dealing with you, and you're not of his elect, then really all of them things are void. Of course, it's like, for example, like a couple of years ago with the C-19 and lockdown. Of course, being in times like that, of course, if possible, it's obviously wise to obviously get a few extra cans, of course, even in our daily lives now, especially food's getting more expensive and like expensive and other things, like as such. But in terms of putting our hope and faith in things that we can do, like of our own might, that ain't the case, man. Because ultimately speaking, right, in this time of evil that's about to come, the only way that you can stand firm and endure to the end, and obviously eat and such, as the scripture says, is if you're of his elect, man. And miracles as well are about to take place of us being in tight circumstances, but the Lord making a way. So without further ado, I'm just gonna play like a bit of this video. I'm not gonna play the whole video as she's talking, but I'm gonna play a part of it. All right, so
bunch of juices back here. All these are juices. So yeah, and so all the stuff on the bottom, watch the cans. All the stuff on the bottom is our apocalypse. This is what we're gonna eat when Trump say we can't go to the grocery store no more, or we gotta take the mark of the beast. Not necessarily Trump, but whomever. Take the mark.
And of course, even the fact that she even mentioned the mark of the beast, I'm sure she knows exactly what a mark of the beast is, which is the verified, the implantable chip, right? Which a time gonna come, as the scripture says, if you don't take that mark, you ain't gonna be able to buy or sell unless you obviously have that mark, which is verified, the implantable chip, And of course, buying a few extra cans here and there is all right. But in terms of putting your whole spirit in building your own individual underground bunker that's got food that's got like enough food for like 30 years and 20 years and all that stuff. First of all, in Babylon, that's all going to be burnt up fucking anyway. And number two, it's like, hey man, if the spirit of the Lord ain't dealing with you, that's all in void. Because it's like there are other people out there that might come in that vein and say, well, what are you doing? What's your plan B? Well, for us here in this faith, in this truth, right, we have no plan B. our plan A to Z is, Lord willing, we're of His elect, and Lord willing, in these times of evil to come, the Lord's going to make miracles happen for our sake. But even the fact that she mentioned the mark of the beast is good, because it shows you that, there are actually people out here who actually know what it is, which the mark of the beast is the RFID, implantable chip. And hey, Trump, maybe the president, like in office, when, well, Lord willing, he is, which that's what we think through faith, that that's that cruel Lord, man. And that when the mark of the beast comes to pass upon earth, he'll go be quote unquote in power, man. That's a Nero coming back. All right.
Mark of the beast. That's what we gonna be down. Yeah. It's not necessarily Trump, but whomever. We're gonna eat when Trump say we can't. All the stuff on the bottom is our apocalypse. This is what we're gonna eat when Trump say we can't go to the grocery store no more, or we gotta take the mark of the beast. Not necessarily Trump, but whomever. Take the mark of the beast. That's what we're gonna be down there. And what is this over here that you just made? Oh, this is barbecue sauce. Homemade barbecue sauce straight from tomatoes. So that's all our barbecue sauce.
Which, I ain't gonna play the whole video, but anyway, man, this is our hope, right? This is Job 5 and 19. It says, he shall. Let me start from 19. Yeah, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. Yeah, man. And ultimately, man, like, if we're of His elect, man, the Lord go and protect us, man, from them ICBMs, man. And before that takes place, right? Just our diverse trials and tribulations that we obviously gonna experience before that time, like especially in the time of Jacob's trouble, man. Right, when that time of trouble that's never been so upon earth comes to pass, right? It says in famine, he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. So yeah, in famine, he shall redeem thee from death, man. And we've read throughout the scriptures certain people in tight circumstances where the Lord made miracles take place. Whether it's Elijah, where ravens brought him cooked food twice a day, or whether it's the story of him being in a wilderness under a tree, and then an angel appeared before him and made him food, or him going to the lady's house who had a little bit of flour left, and oil left, and basically the flour, and the oil didn't fail. I was able to feed him and sustain himself and her whole house, man. And of course, if you read that story, the Lord told him, I've got a lady there that's gonna take care of you, and these are the kind of miracles that we know and believe are gonna take place in this time of trouble. And if we're of His elect, the Lord is gonna take care of us, man. We don't necessarily have to stack up 10 years of food, or getting that doomsday prepper spirit. Now, of course, again, it's obviously wise to obviously have things like tents, to have, extra, certain extra things. Well, ultimately, even if we do have, some of these things, we don't put our faith in it. You know what I mean? Like, we don't put our trust in it. You know what I mean? To even go as far as saying is that this is what's gonna definitely protect me in that time. Because like, especially these like guys that got these super bunkers, right? The Lord is making a lot of these people have them like super bunkers with 10 years worth of food and 20 years worth of food and all these things. The Lord is making a lot of people have these things for the Lord's elect, man. It kind of makes you think about that movie Leave the World Behind, of how the young girl eventually stumbled into that bunker, man. And she was good. She had food. She was watching a movie, just chilling, doing that thing. And the Lord might make that happen for his elect, man. One miracle that might happen is that you just stumble on a big ass bunker that's got all kind of food and water, and supplies, and you and your household and other brothers, or like in their families, end up bumping into the same spot, man, as chilling and eating, or was everyone else out there catching hell? Dudes that have prepped like 20-year-old bunkers and stuff might get caught up trying to make it to their bunker. You never know. Or you might be like in a wilderness and birds come and feed you, or you might bump into an angel that makes you food. Anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, we don't put our faith in our own might. You know how you got like dudes who like buy loads of guns and bullets and have their bunker and 30 years worth of food and getting in that whole mindset, but not thinking upon the Lord, man. You see, this is Psalms 33 verse 18. It says, behold, let me start from Psalms 33 and 6. There is no king saved by the multitude of an host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. And horse is a vain thing for safety. Neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. Yeah, because ultimately, people put their trust at times in carnal things, like, okay, this is going to keep me safe, and that's going to keep me safe, and this and that. But ultimately, the Lord rules in the kingdom of men. The Lord seals the instructions. So ultimately, the ultimate protection is through the Lord and his angels, man. Because, what I'm saying? You can be in a plane, bro, and plane can have, go through certain complications, and everyone on the plane dies except you. Things can happen like that. And I'm sure there's other better, examples, right? It says, behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, and upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. And that's what's going to happen if we be of his elect. When that time period of starvation and famine and cannibalism, that's also coming back. Cannibalism is coming back, right? Remember, the scripture says there be many of them that dwell upon earth that shall perish of famine. It's going to be that bad. But guess what? We got hope and belief that in them times where things are tight, things are crazy, the Lord is going to make miracles happen. Our soul waited for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Let thy mercy, O Lord, be upon us, according as we hope in thee. And guess what? The only way that you can call upon him and hope upon him is if you have those names. Yahweh Shai. And guess what? The only way that you're going to be heard is if you're his elect, man. Right? And then this brings me to Isaiah 65 and 12 on down. It says, therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose wherein I delighted not. Therefore thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shai, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and howl for vexation of spirit. So the scripture is talking about how, those that heard this word, scoffed, because a lot of our people, man, I've actually come across this word in truth, but they talk shit. So they're just numbered for judgment. And when the time of starvation comes, or for famine comes, they're going to be hurt. But those that are his elect, his servants, right, they're going to be good. You know what I mean? If you have seed and children, your Lord going to make ways, make miracles happen, man. So whilst they're catching hell, going through it, them, pangs, just straight up dying, cannibalism and shit, we, as the scripture says, go and eat, man. My servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. My servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Right? My servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So that's why it's like that mindset of trying to, trust in our own might, lacking our own strength. Nah, man. Of course, it's obviously wise to obviously have certain things like, have tents and sleeping bags, and you know what I mean? Because you never know when you might have to be on the go. But in terms of putting your faith in such things, that's not really good, man, because you don't really know where you can end up. But then if you put your faith and trust in the Lord, no matter where you end up, if you're his elect, the Lord gonna make a way, right? And that's why the scripture says, Jeremiah 9:23, thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. Come, man. So with that, I hope and pray it was an edifying video. With that, I'm going to say all praises be to how about Shema Shah, Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone to make time. I'm going to say Shalom.